Welcome to another Sugar High Newsflash. I'm PA David. I'm a licensed and board-certified endocrine and diabetes specialty PA, and Sugar High is a place where you can come for relatable and reliable diabetes information that is always easy to understand. These news flashes are where we discuss current events in diabetes news, updates in research, and developments in diabetes management. Today's breaking news flash pertains to the world's most commonly prescribed diabetes medication, Metformin. The FDA announced this morning that it's requesting a voluntary recall of the extended release version of Metformin produced by a handful of generic drug manufacturers based on unacceptably high levels of the contaminant NDMA present in the medication. NDMA is known to be a carcinogen, which means that it can increase the risk of certain types of cancers. Similar news came out about this back in February, but in that instance, the amount of NDMA in the Metformin tablets that were tested was still so small that it wasn't significant enough to warrant any type of recall or any other action. This time it was high enough, which triggered yesterday's announcement by the FDA. So to really understand what's going on and what to do about it, there's a few things that we need to be able to put into context. Fact number one is that this is a breaking current event that will have a certain level of relevance depending on when you're watching this video. This video was recorded on May 29, 2020, and the recall was announced earlier this morning. If you're watching on a date well past that, there's a good chance that this issue's already been resolved and that there's really nothing for you to worry about. Fact number two, the harmful chemical in question is not Metformin. Please don't misunderstand this announcement and think that Metformin causes cancer. The potentially harmful chemical is just a contaminant that was accidentally included in the tablets at some factories during the manufacturing process. When you take a pill, part of it is the medication and the rest of it is just stuff that really does nothing more than hold it all together in pill form. You can think of it kind of like this bag of frozen broccoli. Not everything in this package is broccoli. Some of it's broccoli, but some of it is just the plastic that holds it all together. If they found that a plastic bag was accidentally laced with some powder that causes cancer, that doesn't mean that broccoli causes cancer. But if that happened, they're still going to recall all these bags of broccoli just so that the people don't keep getting exposed to the harmful chemical that's on the bag itself. Fact number three, this issue does not pertain to all Metformin tablets out there. This recall specifically pertains to the extended release version of Metformin and specifically to those tablets produced at 5 individual manufacturing locations. If you're taking regular old Metformin, not the extended release version, keep on taking those pills because they're not part of this. The FDA stated that they're going to be reaching out to the companies involved in the upcoming days, but as of the date of this video, only the company Apotex Corp has been named on the FDA website. Apotex has already responded by issuing the voluntary recall that was requested by the FDA. By the way, the FDA recommending a voluntary recall is just sort of a passive-aggressive way of issuing a mandatory recall. When voluntary recalls are recommended, it is unheard of for a drug company to refuse. It's kind of like this. Sometimes my wife recommends that I voluntarily empty the dishwasher, and there's no way in the world I'm going to refuse because I'm not an idiot. Fact number four. You do not need to panic. Even if you are taking Metformin that was relevant to this recall, it does not mean that you are going to get cancer. We do know that NDMA over a long period of time can increase the possibility of certain types of cancers. It's not a guarantee you're going to get it. Short and small-term exposures to it usually don't result in any kind of harm. Continuing to take it for a long time in high doses would be a bad idea, but statistically speaking, chances are really good that this is not going to have any kind of long-term consequences for you personally. So what should you do? If you're taking extended release Metformin, you should plan on reaching out to your pharmacy in the upcoming week or so to ask them if the Metformin that they dispensed you was one of the batches that was affected by this recall. On the side of your prescription bottle, the name of the manufacturer will be listed and there's going to be an RX or prescription number. In the pharmacy record system, the prescription number will have information attached to it, including the lot number that your specific pills came from. The manufacturers will be making the lot numbers affected by this recall available to pharmacies so that they'll be able to know if your pills need to be replaced. If your specific bottle of Metformin did not come from one of the lot numbers as part of this recall, then there's nothing more that you need to do. Just go on with your day and forget that this ever happened. If they do need to be replaced, your pharmacist will advise you to stop taking the medication and bring the pills back in for disposal. Hopefully, they'll have sufficient supply of metformin tablets that were produced by other manufacturers and simply give you a new bottle of pills to replace the old ones, and then life goes on as normal. If they don't have enough to replace your medication, they'll likely reach out to your healthcare provider to ask for an alternative medication that you can use until the metformin supply can be replenished. So don't panic, it's all going to be okay. Thanks for tuning in to this Sugar High Newsflash. I hope that you found the information here helpful and gave you some guidance on what to do. If you did, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe so that you can stay fresh on everything new and current in diabetes management. I'll see you soon in the next video.